I was born in the code.
Could World War III really happen? With rising global tensions, China, Russia, the US, Iran, Israel, NATO, AI technology, many are asking, are we standing on the edge of a new global war? We asked AI to analyze current data, historical trends, and geopolitical flashpoints. Let's break down what it sees and how the world can still prevent a catastrophe. Wars never begin overnight. If a third world war comes, it will be the result of unresolved pressure points and global failures. AI analysis reveals 4 major causes building pressure. Decades of unresolved conflict like Ukraine, Palestine, and Taiwan. Great power rivalries, US versus China, NATO versus Russia, economic warfare, sanctions, trade restrictions, resource control, ideological division, autocracy versus democracy. The patterns of World War I and II are beginning to repeat in the digital age. AI pinpoints 5 major flashpoints most likely to ignite a global conflict. Ukraine, Russia, NATO. Russia pushes further west, while NATO strengthens its presence. China, Taiwan, US. A conflict over Taiwan could pull in the US, Japan, and more. Iran, Israel. A full-scale war over Iran's nuclear program could destabilize the entire Middle East, especially now that the US has launched major strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities. North Korea, an unpredictable regime with growing missile capabilities. Cyber and AI warfare. Not just bombs, but data, satellites, and systems. Each of these is a lit fuse waiting for a spark. Special update. US strikes Iran. June 22, 2025. Under Operation Midnight Hammer, the United States launched coordinated airstrikes on Iran's key nuclear sites, Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. Using B-2 bombers and bunker buster missiles, the operation targeted suspected underground enrichment facilities. Early reports from the IAEA and US intelligence suggest significant surface-level damage, but Iran's deeper infrastructure may have survived. The Iranian government has responded with missile strikes toward Israel and US bases in Qatar, though no casualties have been confirmed. A fragile ceasefire is currently in place, but the threat of wider escalation remains very real. What AI predicts. AI doesn't predict the future, it calculates possibilities. Based on data from the past 70 years, current events, and military movements, AI estimates the probability of global war before 2035 at 25% to 40%. That number has now increased due to today's US-Iran conflict. Possible outcomes from simulations include proxy wars that spiral out of control, coordinated cyber attacks that crash financial systems, miscalculations between nuclear states. But AI also maps out paths to peace, diplomacy, collaboration, and responsible technology. AI simulation if World War III begins. We asked AI to simulate what a global war could look like, step by step. Here's a chilling but realistic timeline based on current tensions. Flashpoint ignition. Year 2027. A Chinese military blockade of Taiwan sparks US intervention. Israel launches preemptive strikes on Iran. Russia escalates attacks in Eastern Europe. Global alliances are triggered. NATO responds. The Middle East erupts. The world crosses the point of no return. Escalation and cyber war. The war moves beyond bombs. Cyber attacks paralyze energy grids and financial systems. Satellites are targeted, causing worldwide communication breakdowns. Gas prices soar. Banks collapse. Martial law is declared in major cities. Civilians become the front line. Nuclear shadow. Tensions spiral. India and Pakistan clash over Kashmir. North Korea fires a missile at Japan. A nuclear warning shot is launched for the first time since 1945. In 12% of simulations, this results in a global nuclear exchange. In most cases, the horror forces world leaders to negotiate under the threat of extinction. Over 100 million lives lost, entire cities reduced to ash, The global economy regressed by half a century. Famine spreads, borders change. Governance expands to stabilize what's left. Climate change accelerates due to dust clouds and scorched zones. The world is never the same. The AI message to humanity. The AI isn't emotional. It doesn't feel fear or pain, but it recognizes risk and opportunity. It shows us a future where war is possible, but not inevitable. World War III is avoidable. Here's what must happen. Global cooperation on artificial intelligence safety. Stronger diplomatic ties between the US, China, Russia, and Europe. Ceasefires and neutral zones in flashpoint regions. A permanent ban on autonomous and nuclear weapons escalation. Public engagement, because peace is not built by governments alone. The AI's final message is clear. Avoid the war or rebuild from ashes. The choice is still ours. The best way to win a world war is to make sure it never starts. AI simulation verdict.
My circuits ignite, learning your